guys, welcome to another video. This is my first update in 3 months, or my last update was 3 months ago. I think I'll be doing these quarterly updates. Actually, I hope I'll be more regular now because I figured out the setup. Um, actually, if you're new here, I recently moved. Well, recently. I moved at the end of May and I basically had to figure out life again. Props to anyone who goes through moves regularly. I don't understand how you guys do it. You guys are amazing, but I don't like moving. It's very stressful, and basically, it turned my life upside down. And I didn't even move that far. I moved very close to where the previous house was, and yet I feel like I'm still so tired and exhausted and mentally in a very different place. So the move also meant that I switched from regular size to passport because I just didn't have a lot of energy to journal. That means that my regular size insert is not finished per se, but I do plan to finish the insert before the end of the year, since there's still a lot of months left, even though it's August already. Like, how? But now I'm journaling in the passport. However, because it's 3 months, I will be flipping through these pages. It might go relatively fast because one, I didn't journal that much, and two, it's 3 months of journaling. I went through the pages before I started filming, but I honestly don't remember day by day what happened. Also because it's been a blur. So we will just go through it and see what I do remember and if I can share fun stories about some pages. So starting with the regular size, I am journaling in a Sarka Studio regular size insert. Started it in May, and this is my take a note insert. It has my monthlies and collections, and I don't really tend to share this online because I don't censor it, but um, it's one of those take a note. I don't know which line this is. Is their bullet journaling collection. So the monthly is undated and I think July. No, this is August, which is still empty. This is July. I can share this because when I filled it out, I will try to keep it as non-personal as possible. So this is how I usually do my monthly. I write the month in numbers and the three-letter abbreviation of the month, the ink color if applicable, and then I write the big events that happened. So I went to Brugge, went to Delft, I was sick, and then I decorate with stickers that sort of capture the mood of that month. Some months are busier than others, so the monthlies differ. Then here in the back, I have my collections. So I have my intentions. I start every year off with a couple of intentions that I want to keep in mind while going through the year. I track all of the creative projects that I do, even if they're not finished, but I do track when I start them, when I finish them, just for myself. Um, then this collection is called wish list. It's not really a wish list. It's everything that I buy that I want to know when I bought it, like big purchases. So I don't track when I buy dish soap, but I do track when I would buy a new pair of shoes, for example, or something substantial. I left a lot of space, although I don't think I will be using this space. Then I have my media log. I have another idea for next year. I want to do this differently, but for this year I track movies and series and music. So music are a line and movie series and books. I start reading again, guys. Are a circle. It's colored in if I finished it. It's open if I didn't finish it. And some things I don't finish. Stuff that is finished is colored in and gets a star rating. Songs do not get a star rating, I just listen to them. And then I recently realized I have a lot of empty pages. So I started a tea log of the different teas that I've tried during the year. It is not up to date, I still need to add a bunch. But the new ones that I want to add, I have been drinking them in cold brew versions of them instead of hot brew like you would normally do with these. So I was thinking I should track the flavor for both the hot and the cold brews because some of them I like better when they're cold brewed rather than hot brewed. So I want to think about how I want to log that. So that's why I haven't updated this log. So yes, that is my um, trackers monthly insert. Then let's get to the journaling. This is May. So in May, I went to Kunsthal Rotterdam. Kunsthal Rotterdam is not really a museum, even though it's on the museum list. It's more of an exhibition space. They don't have their own art collection, but they do have very interesting art exhibitions. And they had um, a exhibition on flowers. Coincidentally, I created the monthly page with floral elements. This is not planned because I created this page before deciding to go to this exhibition. So it's just a really fun coincidence. And I went here to the exhibition with a friend of mine. And this friend will be mentioned several times because we went to museums 3 times in 1 month in 2 months. It's kind of insane, but yes, very great exhibition. I don't know if it's still running, but it was really nice. And then the floral theme continues. I don't know what happened here. Oh yes, um, tea. I think I added this tea to the tea lock in the back after I decided to create a tea log. But yes, this got a 4-star tea. It's really delicious. It's also important to say in May, right at the start of May, we got the keys for a new house that we would be moving in. So May is dedicated to the whole moving process, and that is also why I switched from regular size to passport size because of energy levels. I think I might have mentioned that already. I don't remember. But yes, you'll see a lot of packing, a lot of being tired, a lot of very empty pages or with short entries because I just didn't have the energy to journal after very busy weeks. But yes, I don't even know what that's about. Oh, I see the paint samples arrived. I bought so many paint samples, guys. It's insane. But yes. Um, oh yes, I recently realized I had um dried flowers from camel, and I have been hoarding them for no reason, so I started using them again. I really like how these two pages turned out. I I usually don't start with a specific idea in my head, so when I open my journal, like on an empty page, like this, I don't think, oh, this is how I'm going to lay it out. I usually just start with what do I have around me, and then I start putting elements down and see how they interact. And then at the end, I just put my journaling entry in a way that would balance the composition. So this was not planned, like none of my spreads are planned, but I really like how this looks. I also like that this figure that's supposed to represent me is looking back at my boyfriend who is here in the back, and then the flowers because obviously it's May, it's springtime, and then the bird flying past. I just really like how the colors balance each other out. Again, I have no idea. I see this is going to be a busy work week, but luckily it is only 3 days. Ah, it's a short work week. Um, yes, this is also the week I released stickers. These are explicit stickers. They are on my Ko-Fi for free. You can download them if you want. And if you haven't, well, and that's fine. But if you have, thank you very much. I appreciate it. I've also been using them a lot, especially in my 5-year journal that I don't share on the internet. But they've been very fun to use. This is the long weekend, so Hemelsvaart, which I don't know the English translation of, but it will be on screen translated properly. It's a long weekend, and this weekend we prepared the new house that we're going to move into. I painted the bathroom on this day. That's why this bathroom sticker is here. I chose a very light pink color. So this what artist is this again? Some sort of fern tape actually matches perfectly. Then this was also more painting and more painting preparation. Like I said, I went to quite some museums. So I also went to Mauritshuis, which is in The Hague. They had an exhibition on birds, and I have to be honest, I have never been very interested in birds. The reason why I really wanted to go to this exhibition was because there was a dress on display from Iris van Herpen. She's a Dutch designer, very amazing designs, like rather futuristic. Um, I highly recommend to look her up. And I really just wanted to see the dress in real life, and it just happened to be a birds exhibition. So I went to the exhibition, and it exceeded my expectations. It was so good. They had different. It was a small exhibition, like it was a really small space, but it was themed, and then per theme, like love or history, I think they had different artworks and then stories around it. It was such a beautifully curated exhibition. I genuinely enjoyed this one a lot. More cleaning, more painting. I there's just like very high, what is this? High contrast color choices here? Is that high contrast? Oh, they're very striking. That's what I'm trying to say. I like the low energy stamp. This is a favorite. You guys know it. This is a very fun spread because normally what happens is like I would create a meh spread for my standards and I'd be like, no, next time it needs to be better. It needs to be like I put effort into it. So I did. This is 4 days worth of journaling. We watched Project Hail Mary. It was such a good movie. I really enjoyed it. I haven't read the book. I don't think I will, but I really like the movie. I have no idea what happened. I see that I cleaned. I do try to use stems that match what I did on the day, so this looks like cleaning, but no clue. Ah, more painting, and I know this because this is actually real paint. So the painting utensils that we used for painting the house, at one point I managed to take off s- the paint that had dried. I managed to peel it off. I was like, this is a perfect thing to use in my journal. But by the time I had come home, it had broken into pieces. So I cut the pieces into balloons and then I stuck it in. And I had like big plans. I was like, oh, I want to make a really nice journaling spread with it. And then, when you're tired, this happens and it's fine. But I had plans and it didn't work out. This is the moving week. I am so proud that I thought of this idea of using this Modaichi stamp and putting the dates in moving boxes. So you can see me carrying the boxes. This is insane. I packed up a whole house in 3 days. Don't do that. Start on time. But because of how life went, this was basically the packing week. And luckily for me, my work gave me time off. Like when you move, I don't know how many days you get with different jobs. My job gives you 2 days off to prepare for the move. So I took 2 days off and I don't work on Fridays. So essentially, I only worked on Monday and then I was just free to fully focus on packing and the move and stuff. What's also kind of crazy is that on the moving day, which is Friday, we actually got a guest that would stay with us that weekend because why not, right? Why would you not get a guest to stay with you for the weekend that you're moving? So it was insane, guys. It was a super, I wouldn't say stressful. I don't think stressful is the right word because I wasn't stressed, but I was just on. Like you have to put full focus, full energy, so many moving parts and yeah, it wasn't stressful, just I had to be on the whole day. We hired a moving company, best investment ever, so we didn't have any stress. Strong independent man packing the boxes, moving it for us, nothing broke. It was great. um, but yeah, I think the fact that we were getting a guest at night put a lot of pressure on this day. Then this is the weekend of TwitchCon. So that's why the guest was staying with us. It's a friend of my boyfriend who was staying with us for TwitchCon. Um, and my boyfriend also went to TwitchCon. I stayed home and a friend visited me, I think 2 days in a row. I don't remember. But she helped me unpack and we had so much fun because we gossiped, like tea was spilled, guys. It was really fun. And as a consolation for not being home, my boyfriend got me this stamp. It's actually on top of my stamp collection because I don't have space for it in my stamp drawers. It's such a cute stamp. Like it is amazing. I love it. I should use it more. It's so cute. And it's from this brand. I'm not sponsored. Obviously, this is money that goes into it. But in case you are interested in this stamp, it's this brand. Okay, let's continue. Then June started. Obviously, you're tired because you just moved and you had a guest over, so it is what it is. Um, I don't like you will probably see lots of tired stamps. Um, I think I had minimal events this week. Oh, we went to IKEA. I tried to rest, but I didn't really rest because this is the Dutch pen show weekend. Because why would you rest? Why would you move on such a busy time? I don't know. But yes, this is the pen show weekend. It was amazing. Collection is here because I was planning to put in the ink swatches. I never did. It's gonna stay like that. Um, I met up with Alexandra and a bunch of other people whose names I don't know if they share their names online, but it was a really amazing weekend. I had a lot of fun. It was amazing. It was actually the first Dutch pen show that I had fun at. Most of the time I'm like, okay, this is it. I'm done. Um yes, this is just some plain spreads. This is also when I realized that the regular size was getting too big for the energy levels that I had. And that's also why I ended up switching to the passport. This is stuck down because I don't really want to share this day. I don't even remember what happened. I just see one of the explicit stickers here, so that tells me the type of day that it was. You can also see the amount of energy that I wanted to put in my journaling was very minimal. This was a very fun day. One of our friends was getting married, so we went to the wedding, um, and uh, they got married at the beach. I hope that my microphone is not picking up the background sound, but that was really loud. Okay, we they got married at the beach. It was a beautiful day, and I took a picture of the beach because I really just like these very simple, minimalistic pictures. The busy weeks continued because it's summer, so I won't open this because the names in here are not censored. But someone I knew had a thesis defense, and now they are a doctor. I'm very proud of them. So I went to the thesis defense celebration, and then yes, I usually try to create a special page for the 21st of June. That's the summer solstice. And I don't know why. I just feel like it needs it. Even though I don't like how this page turned out, I still felt like I had to create a special page for it. This is a really hot week. I remember that. This entry for the 25th is not filled out. It's supposed to have text here, and I completely forgot. I still know what happened. It was a really hot day. That's why there is the yellow sticker behind the house. But also, it's the day that we handed over the keys to our old apartment. And, like when you rent, you have to do a final inspection and then hand over the keys. That was this day. Yes, really hot day. I remember walking through that house and I could feel the sweat just running down my body. I was like, I want to show up presentable and I'm going to show up looking like a drenched person. It was so hot that day. This was also a really hot day. Again, I met up with my friend and we decided to hang out the whole day. We weren't supposed to, but we ended up going to yet another, not really museum, but sort of museum. It's a Depot Boymans van Beuningen. If you have seen pictures of Rotterdam, it's the glass bowl shaped building with trees on top. Glass, mirrored glass building. Um, you might have seen it before. Um, it was a hot day. Museum. It was 38 degrees Celsius. So museums are usually places where you can have like nice, cool, environment while also seeing fun stuff. This was a really fun day, and we had dim sum to end it, and the dim sum was so good, so good. Ah, love dim sum. This is the end of the month. There's a mouse sticker here, which I only use if I see mice. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, let's talk happy thoughts. So yes, this is not filled. Probably in a couple of months, I'll be back in regular size and fill this up, or not. But probably I don't really like to waste paper. Then I ended up in the passport because I was like, I am the regular size is just too big for me and my energy and life right now. So let's go to the passport. I already was using the passport for planning, so this is my planning insert. I don't tend to like the covers that they come with, and it was a gift. A friend of mine gifted me these planning inserts from Miscellaneous, and I used the wrapping paper to wrap the inserts. Then here in the back, I have a Hobonichi supplemental book that I cut to size. I use it for notes, brain dumping, whatever. And then I have the pencil board. And this is another Sarika Studio passport size insert. Once again, the use stars because that is my theme for this year. Starting with July, it's also last month, which is 2 days ago. Oh yes, I chose a purple ink. I bought this purple ink as an ink sample on the Dutch pen show. I fell in love with it immediately. It's washed lavender by Birmingham Pen Company. Impossible to buy, but oh, I love this purple ink so much. It's so beautiful. This is a fun spread. Also, the theme for this month is purple, but I have been trying to combine my ink color with colors that I wouldn't normally combine it with. So I thought this background, even though it's pink, it's kind of leaning purple, so I thought it would match the theme. And we had an electrician come by and put a lamp in the hallway. Guys, this lamp is amazing. Actually, having a lamp, a working lamp in a hallway is so essential, and you don't realize it until you are using your flashlight on your phone to go down the stairs in the middle of the night or up the stairs in the middle of the night because you can't see anything that makes you appreciate having a working lamp. So, we have a lamp now. It's amazing. Okay, small joys. I kept experimenting with layouts. I hadn't been in the passport for a while, so was just getting used to the small pages. But passport is so fun. I know now why this is my favorite size. It's so fun. Um, I have to say I'm still struggling with tiredness. Some of you guys might know I had a burnout 2 years ago or 1 year ago, 2 years ago, and I'm s- I'm getting better, but there are still days that I am really struggling with exhaustion, and especially with everything that's been happening this year, I have just been more tired than usual, which means that it kind of reflects in my pages, and that's okay. It's nothing bad. It's just explaining to you guys that you can still journal and create pages even if you're tired, if you have a little bit of energy. And even if you don't create something, that's also fine. It just, your journaling pages capture your life, and having empty pages or having less aesthetic pages is also part of your life. There's nothing bad about it. But this was a fun page. I bought these notepads recently, and I have really been loving using them. It's so fun. Just I don't know. I don't really like grits that much. Or I didn't used to like grits that much, and I really didn't like blue. But I found out that recently I am liking it a bit more. So who knows? Maybe I'm starting to like blue guys. Then me and my boyfriend went on a trip to Brugge in Belgium. I think the English way to pronounce it is Bruges. Not sure. But yes, we call it Brugge. Very fun. We got this card from the city, from the hotel that we were staying at, and I usually don't go to the tourist center to get ephemera, but it was given to us. I was like, yeah, I'll use it in my journal. I made a list of the places that we went to because I like to be able to go back years after, be like, hey, where did we go to? And then have a list of the places that we saw. I also bought a new plant because why not? Just like love at first sight. We spent a weekend in Bruges, so the second day we spent with his family, and we basically just had a bunch of food and we bought chocolates. The chocolates are so good. I mean, if you're in Belgium, you must have chocolates. Then on Sunday, we came back home. Hey, read this. Yes, I bought books. I actually brought a book with me on this trip and I read it in 24 hours. So then when on the way home, I bought the next two books in the series. I haven't read them yet because obviously reading on holiday is different than reading when you're at home. So why is this not sticking? Okay. Anyway, then we got home. Then work starts again. And when I was going through my ephemera, I saw I had this page of Monday to Friday. I was like, hey, this would be fun. But instead of putting them next to each other, I cut them out and staggered it. When you work in the passport, you can't just always put the biggest pieces of ephemera in one piece. You sort of have to break them up a bit to um, make it look more balanced, I guess. I mean, you can do whatever you want in your journal. Let's see what happens. Okay, yes. I won't open this because it's semi-blurred. I guess I did censor what I wanted to censor, but I would like to keep it like this. This is Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Um, we went on a walk on the 23rd, and it's kind of funny because I was tired and I didn't really want to go on a walk. And my boyfriend was like, no, 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 let's go on a walk. The weather is really nice. It'll be good for you. And then I went like, fine, fine. And then halfway through the walk, we discovered the most beautiful park ever. And it was so amazing. And I felt so good after the walk. I was so happy I went. But then going on that walk was like, oh, I still remember how I felt. Like, oh, I really don't want to. It's like, no, you have to. I was like, fine. He was right. I really needed to. Ah, yes. We went to Delft, and I was planning on making a really nice spread from it, but I felt uncharacteristically tired. As in, I was in bed before 9 at night, and that is basically unheard of. So, and it makes sense because then I got sick. Actually on Monday evening I got sick, but I made this journaling entry earlier on Monday, so I was like really tired. It's like I have no energy. Yeah, no, makes sense if you got sick. So then I was sick this week, which is this week of filming. I was a little bit better on Friday, which is good because we had some errands to run. And then, well, this is yesterday. It's August already. Kind of insane. But yeah, that's it. That's my current state. This is like a blotting paper. This is the current state of my journals. The passport is filling up a lot faster, obviously, than the regular size because it's basically 2 days per spread, or maybe 1 day. So it fills up so much faster. But that's fine because I'll fill this up and then I'll go back to the regular size. So yeah, that's been my life in a nutshell. At least my journaling life in a nutshell. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I can't promise that the next update will be faster, but I do promise that I'll show my journals on here occasionally. You'll see me when you see me. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you guys, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.